Hello everyone and welcome to my channel General Hospital Official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video. Cyrus injects Michael with Digitalis. Willow stands up to Sunny and Carly. Plus, Felicia recalls a key detail about Dex's murder. But it may be too late for Michael. Today on General Hospital, Sasha is devastated to learn what happened to Michael. Drew advises Willow how to fight Carly for custody of her children. And Cyrus overhears Michael's in the hospital with third-degree burns. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. In his hospital room, Jason tells Michael that his entire family is here for him. Michael groans in pain and opens his eyes. Portia comes in and asks Jason to step out so she can administer medication for the pain. Related story. Soap preview for the week of January 13, 2025. Romance, revenge, and a shot at redemption? Outside Michael's room, Portia tells Jason that Michael is in shock and that he is already on the highest dose of morphine. That can't bring him to consciousness for too long due to the pain, and he'll likely be heavily sedated and unconscious for the next few days. She says that is the best thing for now. In the chapel, Drew tells Carly that Michael is in that burn unit because of her. He was collateral damage for Sunny, and she brought Sunny into his life. How could she let this happen again? She can't believe he is saying this to her when Michael is in pain. Drew says she knows he's right, and Sunny has put him in danger many times before. He says taking Michael from AG was about what she wanted, not what was best for Michael. Carly tells Drew not to preach to her when he had sex with Willow in their children's nursery. Drew tells her that what he and Willow have is more real than what they had. Carly says that doesn't hurt her, she sees him for who he is now, and he did her a favor dumping her. He says he's happier away for her too, and walks off. More. Who bombed Sunny's penthouse? In the hall, Joss accuses Willow of following a pattern. She falls in love with every man who saves her, and leaves them for the next hero to come along. Willow says no matter what happens, she will always love Michael. Joss calls her skeevy for having sex with Drew in the nursery. Nina appears and tells Joss to leave her daughter alone. Joss says everything she said to Willow was the truth. Nina tells Joss that she's just like her mother, and Joss says she can say the same about Willow. Joss says the two of them hate being called out on their crap and are just a bunch of lying liars. On the roof, Sunny calls out to Morgan for help. He's worried about Michael and asks him to watch over his brother. Isaiah walks out, and Sunny says he comes up here to think sometimes. Isaiah gets it. Sunny thanks Isaiah for what he did for Michael and asks what the chances of Michael recovering are. Isaiah explains Michael's burns are serious, and GH is doing what they can. He worries how this stress is affecting Sunny's condition, as he has to take care of himself. Sunny says the love for your kids can get you through anything. Alexis runs into Rick at the Port Charles Grill. Cyrus is working as a busboy in the background. Alexis notes her bad day just got worse, and Rick should feel free to go elsewhere. He can't, as he's meeting a client and is shown to his table. Rick meets with Ava, who explains she's not destitute, and the gallery does well, but she just purchased a new building to expand the gallery. If she doesn't get that settlement, she has to sell the new building. Rick tells her that, unfortunately, the Cassadines decided her settlement belonged to them, and she'll only get a dime of it if Alexis agrees to give it to her. Given their history, he doubts Alexis isn't going to gift her that money. Ava says Rick is a fantastic lawyer, so there must be something he can do for her. More. Maura West's daughter all grown up. Alexis meets with Diane for lunch, and they discuss what Michael is going through. Alexis says he has to pull through this. He's always been so good to her girls, and she can't bear to think what his death could do Christina. Cyrus lingers in the background as Cyrus called him for help. Cyrus explains that General Hospital is trying to restrict his access to patients, and he needs Martin's help. Martin says there are other places he can do his Lord's work. Diane interrupts to talk to Martin about the Corinthos case. Cyrus leaves them to their business. Diane needs a response from Martin to her divorce papers, but Martin says that she's going to have to wait, given last night's turn of events. Diane suggests he convince Willow to start compromising, but Martin says he needs to get back to his brother. He looks around, and Cyrus is gone. Rick sits down with Alexis and tells her that Ava deserves that money, and she knows it. Alexis says that money is not hers to give out. Rick says that amount of money would never be missed by Ace, and if it were anyone but Ava, she would help them. Alexis asks him to leave as staring at him is making her lose her appetite. More is Geo Brooklyn's son. Lucy takes Jens to Bobby's diner for an authentic Port Charles meal. When she mentions it's named after the late Bobby Spencer, the name piques Jens's interest. They sit down for lunch, and Lucy fills him on the Spencer family and who is a member. She changes the subject and asks about himself. Jens doesn't know what she needs to know about him. She asks if there are any former Mrs. Sidwells running around, and what should she know about their newest resident. Jens says his last love used him for money, but thanks her for helping him acclimate to his new surroundings. She says if he needs to know anything to just ask. At Brennan's office, he talks to Colette and fears the WSB may be somewhat to blame for the fire that put Michael in the hospital. The device that exploded Sonny's apartment was WSB tech designed years ago and highly classified. They need to find out who wanted to take Sonny out and who had access to that weapon. Colette asks if the satellite footage he requested has anything to do with this. He says that is a separate project. Brennan explains he did that for Joss, and now he knows who stabbed Dex. Colette says he can't use top-secret footage to solve a civilian case. He knows, but he can leave a trail of breadcrumbs for Joss to follow. Maxie, Sasha, and Felicia meet for lunch at the Metro Grill. Felicia talks about how hard her job can be on some days, and it's hard to leave work behind, like in the case with Michael. Sasha asks what happened to Michael. Felicia fills her in, and Sasha rushes off to see Michael. Maxie tells her mom how awful this is, and Jason has to be losing his mind. Felicia hopes Sasha is okay, as she seems stressed after she heard the news. Maxie agrees and thinks it's the pregnancy hormones. Felicia says her work has given her a new perspective on things, and she knows many patients near the end say their biggest regret is not telling those they love that they love them. Felicia wants her to know how much she loves her. Maxie knows, and she loves her mother too. More, soap stars Holmes in danger from left fires. Back at the hospital, Jason finds Sasha crying outside Michael's room. Sasha asks him what happened, and asks if Michael will be okay. Jason says they don't know yet. Sasha says she and Michael never had a proper breakup, and her love for him has always been there. She says Michael has stood by her numerous times, and he's such a good man. He doesn't deserve this. Back in the chapel, Harley prays for Michael to recover. Sonny joins her and tells her that Michael woke up for a second, but he had to be sedated again. Carly asks how this happened. Sonny doesn't know any more than he did last night, but someone after him. Carly cries that Drew said this was her fault for bringing Michael into his life. Sonny says Drew has no place to judge, and she did what was best for Michael at the time. Sonny also knows how she feels, as he was supposed to protect Michael from this. Sonny notes they are just torturing themselves now, going over their past decisions. Sonny says for all their mistakes, they've always done right by their kids, who are amazing. Carly says they have to be united as their strength will be Michael's. Sonny tells her that they'll face this as a family. More. In the halls, will Michael Willow thanks Nina for defending her. Willow thought this tragedy would bring them together, and if she could just talk to Carly. Nina says it will do no good, as Carly sent Diane to take custody of her children. Willow asks how. Drew steps off the elevator, and Willow rushes into his arms. She begs him to help her as they took her kids. Willow, Drew and Nina go to a private room to speak. Nina tells Willow about the court order Diane showed up with. Drew assumes this is Carly looking to take revenge. Drew says he'll call in favors, and Nina says they need to get an immediate court date. Drew says they can probably get one next week, but Willow cries she can't be without her kids for a week. Nina says they can't defy this court order. It won't help her case, so there is no recourse at the moment. Drew believes there might be. He notes Willow and Michael are still legally married, and she is Michael's healthcare proxy. Nina asks if he's suggesting using the proxy as a bargaining chip. Drew is, as she could deny Sonny and Carly access to Michael. Willow would never do that to Michael. Drew says it's Sonny and Carly she's up against now, not Michael, and this could be her only leverage. Brennan runs into Joss in the hall and asks how Michael is. She gives him a brief update and says she needs to get some air. Brennan tells her before she goes he has news on Dex's stabbing. He says he called in a favor at the PCPD, and he got the witness list for who was in Rice Plaza during the assault, and he forwarded it to her. He suggests she talk to the witnesses and piece together the scene. She thanks him. She gets the list and knows some of the people on it. Joss looks over, sees Felicia, and thinks she knows where to start. Joss speaks to Felicia about the stabbing, and Felicia says there is something about that day she can't remember, and she feels it is important. Joss asks her to recall everything to her right now, and Joss sets the scene for her as to who was there. An elevator dings, and Felicia says, "The bell, that's it." She recalls the bell Cyrus was ringing stopped when Dex was stabbed. More. How Michael's accident will impact everyone on canvas. PHOTOs. Back near Michael's room, Jason offers to give Sasha a ride home, as she's too emotional to drive. At the nurse's station, Carly and Sonny approach Portia and Isaiah to discuss Michael's options, including special hospitals for burn victims. Willow appears and says that won't be necessary. She declares she's Michael's wife. She'll be making the medical decisions, and the doctor should only be talking to her. Elsewhere, Cyrus sneaks into Michael's room in scrubs. He tells him that soon Michael's suffering will be over, and God will call him home. He prays over Michael, and then pulls out a syringe and injects Michael's IV bag. On the next General Hospital, Tracy gives Cody investment advice regarding Drew's payoff to him. Laura tells Lulu Dante did the right thing going after her. Carly tells Willow she doesn't want to go down this road. Nina begs Sonny not to waste precious time on this fight. In Michael's room, Lucas asks, "What if we get it wrong?" Isaiah responds, "Michael will die either way." Watch GH on Hulu $7.99. Bye now.